All right. We're live now. All right. Wonderful. All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your patience as we got the meeting started. Now we're starting a little late, so thanks for your patience. Welcome to our last meeting of the year. Yeah, I'm Steven. Thanks so much for being here tonight, and thanks if you're tuning in live on Facebook. Some updates on what's been happening in the club. So everyone should have received their November, December newsletter. And there's a bunch of articles in there, including a recap of the Link-Off foray. Richard shared his experience at the NAMA foray down in the Ozarks. So that's a really good read. There's also all the photos from the photography contest, like all the folks who won. There's some nice color photos in there, especially if you get them mailed to you. That's the only issue of the year that we print in color. So, oh, if you want to submit anything to the newsletter, you can reach out to Cecily Franklin. She's our editor. You can find all that info on our website. So we've had a couple walks since our last meeting. First up was October 20th at Fern Hollow Nature Reserve. That was Julie's birthday. Happy birthday, Julie. Yeah, they found a bunch of cool things, including this Dacryopinax elegans. And this is like a fungus that grows on elms. It's called like black elm spot. Stegophora olmiae. So I thought those were really cool finds. I did some creeping on iNaturalist. I couldn't make it out in person, but yeah. October 28th was at Dead Man's Hollow. Julie also led that walk. Yay. Anything to say about that one?
So we've never done a mushroom walk in this part. It's pretty cool to explore like a different side of the country.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Then on October 30th, we were at Todd Nature Reserve. Kara organized our Halloween walk and dressed up. I didn't share a picture of it, but that was a pretty sweet costume, Kara. And most recently, this past Sunday, there was a walk at McConnell's Mills State Park. I heard there was great attendance, and I dug around on iNaturalist and found this photo of Helicogloea compressa, which is a really cool fungus. They look really especially cool when it's wet. It's like semi-translucent. The photo you can't quite tell, but thought that was a cool find. Nice. Yeah, about a dozen people there. In terms of upcoming walks, we've got one coming up. This is traditionally when we have our Black Friday walk at Heartwood Acres, but this year it's not on Black Friday. It's on the Sunday before, November 20th. So that would be, is that this upcoming Sunday?
Yeah.
All right. 10 a.m. Heartwood Acres at the Mansion parking lot? Yep. All right. So if you want to come out for what could be most likely our last walk of the year, we'll see you at Heartwood Acres on Sunday. but maybe we'll have some walks over the winter time. Oh yeah, I can move this out of the way. Another event I wanted to make sure was on everyone's radar. Scott Pavel has put together a really special event happening on Zoom this Thursday at 6 p.m. The link was posted to our Facebook group. We'll make sure we send it around. So get in touch if you can't find the link. What's that?
Yeah, I can't post nobody after this meeting.
Yeah, Richard will post it to the website later. And yeah, so it'll be on Zoom and it'll be a panel discussion about the edgeless clade of boletes. So looking at the DNA and figuring out which of the king boletes grows in our region and in other parts of North America. And I don't know, Scott, do you want to say some more about it?
Yeah, it's actually a panel that's going to be educated. All the people that we learn from, you know, Phil Buell and the set and all those people are getting to ask questions of Brady Deckinger, who is basically the #1 guy in the world academically on all of them. This presentation is you and me and everybody else who just fly on the wall.
Is there any chance it'll be recorded for interviewing?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep, so that'll be recorded. So if you can make it live, awesome. If you can't, no worries. There will be a recording, but I just wanted this to be on everyone's radar. It should be a really fun, yeah, speaker panel. Here's our dates for next year's meetings. If you're the type that wants to know the dates, there they are. Still working on some speakers, but I think I've got at least one exciting out-of-state speaker in the works. So yeah, if you have any recommendations of folks you'd like to see speak at our meetings, I'm always open to suggestions. So you can always write me if you think there's someone you know of that would make for a really good speaker, think they're regional or local, especially, yeah, get in touch. We also have the dates picked for next year's Link-Off foray. So that might be an important one to get on your calendar. Make sure you have that weekend reserved. So it's the last weekend in September. So it's a little different, but that's the weekend we were able to get the lodge. We really liked being in that space. So we're really excited to be back there again next year. So great job on the folks that stay up until 12:01 to register for us. Yeah, got to sign up right at midnight. Here's our membership report for the end of the year. We came in strong at a whopping 1,036 members as of today. So give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you so much. Everyone who supports our club, it really helps us to do all of the wonderful things that we're able to do, like bringing in some of these speakers and doing a lot of our work, DNA sequencing. So thank you. And if you're watching this online and you're not a member, here's some info on how to join and some of the benefits. All right, so that takes us to this portion of the meeting. We have a lot of Mushroom ID Awards to give away tonight. Yeah, Julie, do you want to just come up here and start handing them out? I can run through the slides, but basically,
Becca, 25, and Emily also.
woo,
Already have their button. Then we have Rachel also earned her 25 a bit ago in the team meeting. She got her 25 button. And then is Allie here?
yay.
And then also I wanted to give arborist and 300 of them. We also don't have secrets, so I need to. They are much like I made Steven a temporary. So thank you guys. One more one, right? Yeah, so Shauna and Josh earned their buttons. They're getting theirs mailed. Those two are engaged. And then their son also got his kids. So
Yeah.
they're getting a button family mailed.
Yeah.
Me too. Just like mushrooms.
All right. So congratulations to all of our Mushroom ID button award winners. Great work submitting your lists. And yeah, if you aren't already participating, it's really fun. You get to keep track of all the mushrooms you're learning, and then you get to get recognized at a meeting for learning. That's awesome. So submit your list. Okay, now the last little bit of talking I'm going to do, and then we're going to get into the main thing tonight. So every year at our November meeting, we give 2 awards to recognize the contributions that some individuals make to help our club operate and continue doing all the things it does. It takes a lot of volunteers to run this thing. No one's getting paid for their time here, and we have a lot of people that are donating like their expert skills to help all of our club activities run smoothly. So it takes a lot of work, and I just wanted to acknowledge a couple folks tonight. So the President's Award this year is going to be going to Julie. And I made a thing. I made a thing for you.
I can make that. You want a president by
Yeah, so Julie has been a club member since 2018. Julie was first elected to the board as secretary in 2020. Later that year, she became an identifier and took on the added responsibility of button ID chair, which you saw her doing earlier. This year, Julie spearheaded the Linkoff 4A planning committee and was essential to organizing the new components of the event and adapting to the larger venue. She also gave a presentation on iNaturalist at this year's Mushroom Education Day. Julie consistently arrives to meetings early to help set up, contributes articles to the newsletter, and leads a substantial number of guided mushroom walks every year, sharing her passion for biodiversity. So I just wanted to thank Julie for all that she's done for the club this year. And yeah, yay. All right, then we also have an Outstanding Service Award that we give. And this year's Outstanding Service Award goes to Chris Morosky. Yay, Chris. Yeah, so Chris has been a club member since 2017. And before COVID, Chris often took photos at our monthly meetings and brought food to our potluck dinners. In 2020, Chris took over the important responsibility of membership chair, working tirelessly behind the scenes to process paperwork, send membership emails, and keep a database of our ever-growing membership. Chris consistently volunteers to help with registration at club events, including Mushroom Education Day, the Cultivation Meeting, and the Linkoff 4A. So Chris really does a lot and is often behind the scenes. So I really wanted to call attention to what she contributes and just thank you. So thank you, Chris, wherever you are. And I have a paper award for you too, if you want it. Let me know and I'll mail it to you. Okay, without any further ado, I just want to check and see, are there any questions or any other announcements from the floor before we turn things over to our speaker? Julie.
Thursday, I'll post this on the Facebook. Thursday at 6:30, so a little after when Scott's talk starts, I'm doing a talk for Slippery Rock Ecology series on zombie fungus and parasite fungi.
Oh,
I'll put that on the Facebook.
cool.
Thought I did, but
Will that also be recorded?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Probably is.
awesome. Thanks. Just, I'm going to repeat that just in case folks at home are having a hard time, but Julie is giving a talk 6:30 on Zoom on Thursday. So it's the same night as the BOLI talk, starting a half hour later. and that's going to be on entomopathogenic fungi, like the zombie fungi. So awesome. Anything else? Yeah, come on up.
So hi everyone, my name is Emily Wattina. I'm a master's student of ecology and evolution at the University of Munich in Germany. And I'm also taking part in an environmental studies certificate program. And for that, I had to have like a final project. And I made the Amateur Foragers Cookbook. So I don't know if that's relevant for any of you, but maybe you have family members that are interested in getting into mushrooming. And I have kind of like an intro to what are fungi, what is a mushroom, some diagrams, where can I find them, when can I find them, what should I bring, and then I go into like the actual recipes, and I have pictures, and they're all taken by me. So if you're interested, I'm going to be selling them for $5 in the back later on. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Emily. Very cool. Any other announcements? Sweet. All right. Well, I'm really excited tonight to be introducing my brother, Samuel, Chef Samuel, who's going to be preparing some crispy mushroom tacos. And yeah, I'll just turn it over to you, Sam, and you can kind of introduce yourself. Tell us what's going on. We'll get the lights turned on too.
Yeah, so as my brother Steve said, I'm Chef Sam. I work over at Brown Corner Cantina. It's right on Butler Street, right there in Lower Lawrenceville. I've been the sous chef there for about 2 years. It's been very exciting. Aren't familiar with what we do. We currently are trying our best to represent the Oaxacan cuisine. Oaxaca, Pacific City, Mexico. Their tacos are a little bit different than like what you expect on like the Baja Coast, things like South of California. But yeah, so like we were saying, today we're going to do mushroom taco. I had prepared for us a couple of beach mushrooms. I was hoping to get these sourced from somebody else, another member. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to connect with them in time, so I just had to make do with beach mushrooms. So this recipe, fried mushrooms really aren't the most common thing you find in a household. However, as a recipe I think is sort of easy to do. And it all starts out with the tempura batter to coat the mushrooms. Now I'm going to be cooking them in just a pot of olive oil blend. You can cook these in just like a big skillet with a little bit of oil. But we definitely want to at least get that oil to 350 degrees. Now with the tempura mixture, a lot of tempura mixtures you will find it'll just be flour, cornstarch, and soda water. With this recipe, however, we add vodka to it. And the reason being, vodka has a little bit lower of a boiling point than water or soda water for that matter. So when you have that lower boiling point, it definitely reacts differently to the mushrooms in the way that they're cooked. Mushrooms are very, very sensitive to varying temperatures. You get them too hot, you just might not have the right consistency. They're not hot enough, and obviously they're just not going to be as delicious. So yeah, so the first step, when you first make this mixture, I will go over real quick if you guys do want to know the recipe. For every 2 cups, I use a rice flour, so that it is gluten-free. For every 2 cups of rice flour, you will use half a cup of cornstarch, and then you will use 1 cup of vodka and 1 cup of the soda mixture. If you let it sit for a while, the flour and the cornstarch does sit at the bottom. It gets very, very hard. It's almost like concrete. The best way is just kind of scrape at it with a spoon, get that powder to reinvigorate with all the liquid that you got going. And you just want to go ahead, grab a handful of some delicious mushrooms, put those in a mixing bowl. Go ahead and add some of this mix to these guys. Now the key with this is to not add too much. You don't want your mushrooms to be swimming in this liquid mixture. You want it to kind of just coat them very lightly. I'll kind of walk around and to show you guys exactly. You might think they're going to come out wet, but actually quite dry. And if you look, you get a lot of that powder that goes into the gills of the mushrooms. That's really what we're looking for. That way, all the mushrooms are nice and crispy, and you're not just putting a coating over a mushroom. They actually still stay pretty true to the shape. You ready to look?
Yeah, show me that.
Go here first. And if you add too much tempura, just even it out and add a little bit more mushrooms. I'm sure they'll love to soak it all up. I don't know if that's a good shot or not.
Yep.
All right, then as long as your pot is up to temperature, these guys should be ready to go. And you just want to make sure you have a nice tool such as this to get them out of the hot oil. Don't want to touch. I like to add them in a little handful at a time. You never know exactly how the oil is going to react when you add something, especially with a hot liquid. And yeah, you just want to do your best to keep them separated. This mixture that they're cooking in does like to stick to each other. So the more that you can just try to keep them separated in the oil, the better off for it. Yeah. I would say estimated cooking time shouldn't take longer than 2 minutes. That's another nice thing about this recipe is very quick. Once you have that oil up to temp, it doesn't take long at all to cook these guys. Yeah. So like I said, these are going to be oyster and beach mushrooms. You could also use champignon. You could also use coffee. I've never tried to use other ones. I have used coffee. You wouldn't really want to also. I think it's a very, very light mix. A lot of fried mushrooms tend to be very thin. What's nice about this is it's all entirely very light, crispy. So this recipe actually was handed down to Chef Julio Peraza. Yeah, he's from El Salvador. He's cooked everywhere from Las Vegas to Hawaiian Islands to Texas. And he's made his way up to Pittsburgh. And here since. Yes, yeah. He made this specifically for mushrooms. His idea was to change the mix because most tempura mixes are just the soda or water. And it was his idea to switch it out and use the vodka to lower the boil in the mixture.
I hear about beer and tempura or beer and batteries at some point.
Yeah.
Why, you mentioned vodka, is that different from beer?
Yeah, so same thing with beer. It is going to have a lower boiling point. Another main thing with beer, oftentimes you'll find it in recipes kind of centered around like fish. A lot of times chefs are just using that extra flavor to help get a different, end result out of tempura. But yeah, once we're done here, you can do whatever you like as far as like adding like garlic salt or salt, pepper. Now, with those, as you said, if you're par cooking, I would definitely recommend like for morels, I would probably boil them and then let them like kind of sit in this tempura, let them soak up, let them dry out as much as they can, kind of similar to this. Just because when you're doing the pre-boiling, you're going to get a lot of extra moisture inside. So they're just going to cook a little bit differently in the pot. I would recommend definitely doing those in a pan. Do them in the pot, that extra moisture inside the mushroom could create a little pop. Might be a little bit more in your bargaining for. Yeah. But yeah, so then once we got these crispy mushrooms, really the next part is all up to you. I did bring some organic tortillas from Cantina. Go ahead and make a couple tacos for you guys. Does anyone have any other questions? Other than let's see how it tastes. Oh. Around. This oil is a canola olive oil blend. Obviously you're free to use anything you like. The key there is just making sure that you're at a high temperature. That's been sitting around for a while. 350, yeah. Yeah, anything above that, and you're just gonna keep it on. So the temple recipe, one's ready. It's gonna be 1 cup iron rice flour, just keep it gluten free. Use any other kind of flour you like. So 1 cup of rice flour, half a cup of cornstarch, 1 cup of soda water, and then 1 cup of vodka. Also, I use favorite vodka. If that matters to anybody, they are. Yeah. Yeah. So starting out, you're gonna want to do 1 cup of flour, half a cup of cornstarch, 1 cup of soda water, and then 1 cup of vodka.
Oh, so you do both.
Yes, so you do the powders first, you get your cornstarch and flour mixed up really well, and then after that you add your liquids. And when you're making this, you're gonna wanna make the consistency as fluid as possible. Those powders are all gonna wanna sit to the bottom of the bowl. I find just getting gloves on and getting your hands in there, making sure all the clumps are worked out is the best solution. Getting a clump of this mix in your tacos doesn't really taste that great. It's very starchy and flour. You want it to be spread out across the ocean. Also, yeah, the ingredients I brought to top these off, we just have a basic house salsa, and we also have pickled onions as well.
Did you say flavor taco?
No. Favor. Faber. Yeah. It's very cheap stuff. Most bars use it like as their well. Yeah. Yeah.
It said, please bring on, but my surprise, it always had sergeant, it always had. Yeah. So, my name is, my last name is, didn't have that much, so next thing, she's on my right side.
Anybody want the first one? Ladies first, so we'll just keep getting everybody served. Right. Well, you know, the salsa I brought does have a little bit of a spice to it, but it's pretty sweet for the most part. It's not gonna like it. We'll go ahead and just get some tacos made. If you guys have questions, feel free. Now's the time. In fact, come up and ask me. Cool. Yeah. I can share it. Yeah. Cool. If you guys want to come up and watch the magic unfold, more than welcome. That often and we feel like it. Yeah. It really likes this kind of thing. You'll be able to feel it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, we serve a variation. Not taught the same way. The mushroom is like an Indian spearmint.
That's why I'm.